So my first experience was when I was really young, at about 4 or 5. So in Malaysia, I was living in Malaysia back then. You know, people would just pee right next to the longkang, right? So my mom would say, okay, you pee here. Then usually she will just say something that, okay, please excuse, my girl is like peeing, blah, 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 blah. So she was on the phone. Then I was peeing. I can never forget this. But you don't feel scared, at that point of time. So I was peeing. I was shh, girl always like shh. Then as I looked up, I saw someone right in front of me, wearing all white, eyes big, and smiling. So I had a shock. I was like, "Who are you?" So I started talking, but my mom was on the phone because I was whispering. So my mom didn't know what happened. Then after that, I was peeing. I was like, I pee first, okay? I won't disturb you. Let me pee. So I finished peeing. So I even tell the person, I finished peeing already. I'm gonna go. Then this thing that I saw open up his mouth and his tongue rolled down.
I really don't feel good. It's not getting a...
Is anyone here? What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
So I had a shock. That was when Mommy. Then my mom was like, okay, wear your underwear. Then after that, carry me and go. And then when I was in the car with my dad and all, so I was telling my mom was sitting at the back with me. So I told my mom, I saw someone like that, wearing white, long hair, eyes big. And then after that, he opened up his mouth and then the tongue rolled out. So my mom said, never mind, it's okay. It's just your imagination. It's okay. So soothed me. And then I remember last time when I was younger, I always eat the 珍珠粉. 珍珠粉 is something, it's pearl, and then they grind it into powder to let people who to take, right, when they're under shock or traumatized. So that's what the Cantonese believe, because I'm a Cantonese. And honestly, at that point of time, I don't feel scared. It was just like a friend or someone that I see constantly, because since young I've been seeing, right? But it's just that I couldn't express because couldn't speak, right? Yeah, that was my first ever experience. That was the first time, and then my mom noticed that, hey, this girl can see stuff like me. So my sister can see stuff also, but covered. My mom, my maternal grandmother, two of my aunt from my mom's side, and my uncle from my mom's side. So all of them can see. I've never met my grandmother before, but I constantly see someone in my dreams before, all the time, on the rocking chair, wearing some fu, and then, holding a fan, very well groomed. And then when I described that to my mom, right, my mom said that, yeah, it's okay. I think that's your grandmother. And then when I actually went, because I was living in KL, when I came here to visit my relatives, right, and then on our the walls, right, then we have like all the family pictures. Then I said, Mommy, that's the one. When I left the house, when I came here to study, that's when I start experiencing all the not the very unpleasant kind. I was a cheerleader, so we will train all the way till like midnight. Then I'll take the last bus right from Yio Chu Kang, Nanyang Poly nursing. So when I came back, that time I was staying at Toa Payoh Lorong 8. Then I was staying with my aunt at that point of time, because my mom has to be with my dad, right, in KL. So as I go back, and then I was so tired, and I accidentally hopped over a pile of ashes. So I hopped over, I was like, shit. And then I turned back. 不是吧? Then I was like, shit. Then I just say, sorry, I'm very tired. Then I went back. Immediately that night, I dreamt that I was in my ancient clothes. Those that button up? And then I had like 2 plaits. I was running. I was running from a man that wears shorts and wear like those short sleeve shirt, right? Unbuttoned. And he has this sinister laughter like was running, and I know that he's gonna harm me. And this man, as I confirmed with my aunts, right, was the man that passed over, that passed on next block. And they just finished like, you know, that thing over there. That was the first day. Then second night, run, keep on running. So I'm so tired of running for 1 week. And then I didn't want to disturb my mom. By that time, I already had fever. So my fever was very high, 39.8, 40, 41, 42. I don't feel anything. When I go over to A&E, right, they'll be like, oh my god, girl, we have to give you sponge bath, we have to put you on drip. So I had like 4 or 5 drips. Finally go down to like 37.5 with like a lot of Panadol and stuff like that to bring down the fever. But I feel fine. Generally, I totally don't feel anything. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Because it's like almost detached. But honestly, at that point of time, my physical well-being, right, is definitely a goner lah, you know. I didn't contact my mom after 1 week. So I was on MC for like 4 or 5 days, and then I was like, then they diagnosed me with tonsillitis because it's like, you know, everywhere is inflamed. They couldn't find out what's wrong. So they did all the blood tests. So the second week, and then my mom came. I was like, hey ma, why are you here? Then she's like, oh, I received signals that I need to come. Then I was like, yeah, I didn't want to bother you. So she came. Because my dad is a Taoist, right? My dad worship Guan Gong. So because businessman, right? So Guan Gong. So she brought Guan Gong here in Singapore. And that was when I think the 10th day, when I was having severe high fever. I was shivering, but my mom couldn't do anything, you see. So my mom sat up and just prayed. In my dream, this is real. I don't think it's a dream because I woke up and I saw my mom. And then when I fell back asleep, right, it's like almost I'm back into that dream. I was running and running. He caught me. The man caught me. Because my mom go and find out from my aunt, who is this man? Is there anyone, like do a background check, like who is this man? So my aunt said that this man is always very ziko one, always sit under the block, always look at girls, you know, those uncles, right? So suay I kena. So he caught me, and there lah, you know, physical stuff happened, and I was blocking. I was like, oh no, and then vulgarities come out, and then that was when I saw Guan Gong with like his thing, right, and just slashed him. And then I woke up and I was crying. I was like, shit, what the fuck happened? And that was when it's gone. The next day, no more fever. I mean, a lot of people think that, oh, sure, no, it's so drama. But I don't expect people to be in my position. I never want people to be in my position to experience those kind of things, because it's scary as hell. Who wants to be chased for like 2 weeks and you don't feel anything wrong with you? And I'm like going to school and I feel okay. Even when I sit next to my friend, right, they can feel like, hey, you're very warm, you know. Are you okay? I said, I'm okay. But I look like shit. Like I have like, you know, dark circles. I was like all sunken. And then I look pale. But I don't feel anything. I didn't call my mom. And then suddenly my mom just appeared. Of course, you know, with all the talisman and like, you know, well, Christians, they have like holy water. We have something that is like from the fu. So she was just sprinkling. And then she just used the fu to wipe. Yeah. Funny dream about this house which made of wood, right? And then there's this staircase that goes up. But all the people that is in there, right, I don't know them. So it's like there's a room up there, and I know there's something in there, and there's a staircase, and over here is like an open kitchen. And then I saw an ustad, a person who wears the songkok. And then this guy always in my dream, always stare at me with a very angry look. Like, I don't know, and I can never understand, because it's like the first few dreams, right? Until I think the 5th or 6th day, when I started having fever again, then they also say like it's tonsillitis lah. I don't know why they always put me on antibiotics. And then what happened was, I started hearing sound, like hissing sound, like it's very near. It's just like right next to my ear, and I know that sound comes from that room. And then what happened was, all these people started talking to me. You know, when they talk to me, they don't have a sound that comes out from their mouth, but you know what they're talking about. So they tell me, don't go into that room. You're forbidden to go into that room. Do not. They warn me. Even the ustad said, no, don't go up. But you know, I don't know why, like I get very attracted to that room. So what happened was, after a few days of MC, that time I was working already. So I was very sick. I stayed home, and then same thing, my auntie contacted my mom. I think your daughter did something again, because I really don't look good. Like that time I was so frail. I was like, I lost a lot of weight within 2 weeks. So by the 3rd week, I cannot tahan already, because the fever is on and off. Then the last one I remember was, I went up to the room. My mom was here already. I went up to the room, and then I looked back. All the people below was like, no, don't go. But I went up. I get so attracted. I wanted to see what's inside. And I opened up the room. I saw a corpse, a lady. It's all black, dried up, white hair, and then her hand was reaching out. I can never forget the image of like how dry the skin is, and the claws. So she was reaching out for me. That was when I was sitting up, and then my mom pulled me. And then when she pulled me back, I woke up. And then she was like, drink this now. So I drank. And then I woke up. And then you know what I found out? Claws on my neck. How to explain? I mean, my mom didn't see it happening. So my mom was like saying, could it be me? I said, Mom, you're pulling my shirt. Can you see these claws like on my neck? How do we explain? I can never explain. So this is also one thing that I almost lost my life. All these experiences, right, that I had always accompanied with fever. And my fever will always be like 38.5, 39, 40. And it's very draining, because you get so dehydrated, you get all these ulcers. It's like you're almost dying, you know. So this one was really severe compared to like the rest. That one I'm still not, I don't feel dying yet. But this one, literally, I was scared. So that was the last case my mom helped me with before she passed on. I was lying on my bed. So I was in my room. So the vision is I was in my room back then. I was lying down, and then I see all these 4 figures in front of me, and they were pulling my hand. And I was like, what are you doing? So I was struggling. And then the only thing that was, okay, I can literally feel lifted. When I turned back, it was my own face. This is definitely not a dream. For sure not a dream. because I can see the fan moving and shit like that, right? So I was so scared, I was crying, I was literally crying, calling for help. Then I was lifted up, I turned back, I saw myself lifeless, lying down there. When I looked, it was only my core that is sticking, that is like my hip area, that is still attached to my body. And I was so scared, right? I keep on, struggling, and then in the end, I just calm myself down. I just say a chant, Namo Mitopo, blah 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 blah. The usual chant that my mom taught me. And then I felt like I dropped. And then when I dropped, I managed to catch my breath like and that was when I was crawling. I was having high fever. I opened up the door, I crawl out, I asked for I called my aunt. And then just nice my mom entered the door. And I was crying and wailing at that point of time. I was so freaking scared.
What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
The Sanskrit book, she can read Sanskrit. Just right before she sleep, right, she will read the book. And the book is like, usually book page 1 is from the front, right? That one is from the back. So it's a very, very old book. So she can actually read it. And when I ask her, she will just, and then she will just read. She will never tell me why. She will never explain. And she will only tell me that this is karma that we have to endure, and we just have to get past. She can speak in Guan Yin's voice when she meditates. So she will be like, her eyes are half open, and she will speak to me in a foreign language. And when she passed on, she kept telling me that it's okay because she passed away from cancer, and she never take painkillers. Tumor was so big, but she said that it's okay. These are the suffering that I will have to endure, and it's okay. I told myself that shit, I have to learn something to protect myself. I have to remember every single thing that my mom taught me since young to prevent all this from happening. You see, I have like all these Trinity eye to block me from like, I'm scared. I'm seriously scared because I have no more protection ever since my mom passed on.